Next, Mr. Yogesh Misra. As I'm introducing you, Yogesh, please come to the platform. He heads Thomas International's consulting practice for India, SAARC and emerging markets. Thomas International is one of the largest assessment companies in the world. They do the DISC assessment, yeah? He has been doing consulting assignments for more than 100 companies like Bosch, Coca-Cola, Hindustan Group, Microsoft, Goodyear Tire. The list is very long. He is a master trainer for Thomas DISC, PPA behavior, TST ability, and TAS team modules and emotional intelligence modules, and has been trained and certified more than 4,200 managers. He's associated with several professional bodies like CAI, BMA, DMA, NHRD, etc. And again, his credentials are amazing, but what you really want to know about this gentleman is he's married to Vanita, who teaches at Delhi School of Economics, and he has 2 sons. Can we welcome Yogesh Misra? Give you another handshake here. Thank you.
Betska.
You're welcome.
As a consultant, I'm used to making a lot of presentations. And yesterday when Indrajit told me your opinion on coaching and getting internal manager trained, I was flattered. Then I said 5 minutes. And then today I realized that in the order I was 4th after a lot of illustrious speakers. And my confession is, I said, oh, I don't think there is anything left after all what people have said. So I've decided that I will tell you what I have felt about coaching and how I have felt. So the first thing, coming to the card that I got in the morning was acceptance. And as a coach, okay, another confession is, Betska has been training me. I'm sure she will not disown me. Is that the first thing that I learned when I started getting trained as a coach was that you need to accept people the way they are. You know, when I was first promoted as a, okay, how many of you have managed people? Quite a lot of you have managed people. And when you were given responsibility of managing people, what was the reason behind giving you the responsibility? Because they felt you were ready, or because you had done well? Mostly it's because you had done well. Now, when you do well, it said you had done well, now you are being promoted as a manager. And suddenly, from being an individual contributor, you are now supposed to get work done from people. And the way you drive yourself, you start driving people. And it's very difficult. I can push myself, but I can't push others. So another thing, 3-4 years back, I was sitting with one of my clients, and I've been lucky to have lovely people. And this guy, he told me, Yogesh, why are you so worried? I said, you know, I've been pushing my people, driving them, trying to get results, and I'm not very successful. You know, and what happened was, there was a piece of thread lying on the table. He put it in front of me, and he said, Yogesh, push this thread. And I said, since he wanted me to do that, okay, all of you know what thread na dhaga. So I started pushing the thread. Can you guess what would have happened? It would just wriggle, 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 and it did not move anywhere. So he said, Yogesh, that's the issue that you have. When you start pushing people, you will push people, they may perform, but over a period of time, you will not lead them to anywhere. What you need to do, create a pull. So one of the things that I learned was, as a manager, I need to create a pull. Now, for me, it was more of serendipity. The same thing happens when you become a parent for the first time. With the first child, it is difficult. Suddenly with the second child, it's not that the second child is easier to manage than the first child. It's just that you learn. Yeah? So now a thought came to me, why is it that we need to learn with serendipity and in the process injure people who are going to report to us? So in my opinion, it is very important for managers in organizations to be formally trained in coaching. They need not necessarily become certified coaches, but they need to learn the process of coaching, understand that coaching or developing people is very different from managing people. In the morning, if you saw the presentation, I could just overhear what Gerard was talking about, difference between a leader and a manager. So I would say, if you train internal managers, that would lead them to a journey to become leaders. What does a manager do? What is it that you're supposed to do as a manager? Manage people, ensure that there are compliances which are met. But what is it that you're supposed to do as a leader? Yes? Develop people. Deliver through what? Getting their commitment. So one of the most important things that you need to learn as a manager is coaching skills so that you can become a leader. Now, I quickly looked at it and said, I was speaking to people. A lot of people said, yeah, we do a lot of coaching in our company. When he spoke to them, what they were effectively doing was training people on technical skills and actually mentoring. The moment we become managers for the first time, like Mr. Dwarkanath said, typically what we want to do is tell people, okay, you come to me, I am the manager, now I have a solution. But I have another confession to make. Increasingly, I have realized I don't have solutions to all the problems that I face every day. What does that mean? That means though I am sitting as a manager, I am expected to give solutions. I don't have solutions. But I've also realized that if I sit with people and have a collaborative approach, it is going to give me results. And hence, what I realized is coaching helps you understand your people, listen to them, and ask them to come up with a solution. Because if I give you a solution, okay, another important thing is coaches ask the right question. Yes? They don't give a solution. But in India, see, we have been doing a lot of assessments and always people say, sir, aapne bimari bata diya, so you have diagnosed the problem, can you also give me the solution? And the moment we say, if I give you a solution, it is my solution, it is not your solution. So the ownership would not be there. So what I personally feel is, if managers are trained as coaches, they will get out of this situation wherein they are mentoring people. I know and I understand mentoring is important, but coaching is far more important, because as a coach, you need to believe that the person in front of you has the solution. So that again comes to the card that I picked up in the morning, acceptance. Some of the other things that I looked at were that what are the things that you need to learn as a coach, or why do you need to become a coach? Coaching is a science and it is also an art. There are certain methodologies which a accredited coaching company will give you, which otherwise you may not even be aware of. I'll take another example. When I was being coached, we are typical managers, we think with our left brain. And when somebody would come with a solution, we'll say, that is such a waste, touchy-feely solution. And then I realized over a period of time that, Beska said, so what do you see the word as? We typically said it is black or white, because I was using my left brain. Now it's still a challenge, but you realize over a period of time as a manager that not everything has a logical solution. You need to look at things with emotions. So a formal coaching to a manager will help you look at both the left brain and the right brain. Another thing that I learned was that there are certain issues. Now people come to you and say that they have an issue. Now that may not always be the real issue. As a coach, when you are formally taught, you start asking questions and unearth or discover what are the real issues or the real goals, and also normally there are certain emotions attached to those issues. I may be telling the right thing to somebody who's reporting to me, but possibly the person's mind is closed. And the person will say, this person has a vested interest or agenda. So even if I am telling the right thing, the person will not accept. So what processes like coaching help you do is, especially things like what Beska teaches us, it opens your mind. It helps you release the negative charges or emotions which are attached to a certain issue, and then makes you more receptive to ideas. So in a nutshell, if you were to ask me about, because it said my opinion. Now I am nobody to give my opinion. I can only say as somebody who's a beginner and a practitioner that yes, coaching is important. Quickly, the last thing which came to my mind was we were doing work with a very large IT company which is celebrating its 100 years on diversity. And one of the challenges that they were facing were as first-time managers. So now women, when they become managers for the first time, that's around the same time that they also get married. They have children, they may think of starting having children, and of course, with marriage comes the mother-in-law. You know, yes, no. Now somebody asked me, so Yogesh, you have started getting into marital counseling. So what did you tell them? Did you tell them how to handle their mother-in-law? I said, actually, that's not what I did. I just asked them few questions, and I asked them, why do you think your mother-in-law is saying what she is saying? You know, and over a period of time, what I realized was most of those people got the answers themselves. And I realized, wow, this worked. So that's one of the things that I realized that in a nutshell is, if you are looking at coaching, don't think that a coach will give you the answer. What you need to realize is that a coach will make you think. A coach will ask you questions, and finally, the answer will come out from you, and that would be the answer which is most suitable for you. Thank you.
Hey, let's hear the noisemakers for Yogesh.